Hi guys, update on who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing. This is the Starving Artist Diaries, the wild, fun story time telling of what I've been up to and where my life is at this moment. So let's say it's about almost August right now. And about 2 weeks ago, I was in my boss's room. I was in my boss's conference room, not her actual room, but her conference room. There was a disagreement between me and my colleagues. And let's see how that story goes. So there was a disagreement between me and some colleagues. And fortunately, I was the odd duckling out in this group work environment. I was working for the Girl Scouts camp counselor company. For weeks on weeks, I had felt tired and icky sticky up to this point. I didn't feel like I was being valued for who I was. I didn't feel like I was really being respected, and I didn't in turn really respect or work hard. It was one of those icky sticky situations where neither one really wants to be with the other one, but they kind of just put up with each other till one thing just blows up the whole mess. It wasn't a good working situation for either of us. But I stayed for the money. You know what that money does to you, honey? All right. So I kept staying longer and longer, waiting until the summer season ended. But things with regards to children, things that didn't feel right, things that I didn't like, turned into arguments, or I would arguments with camp counselors, disagreements with how to treat kids, disagreements with how to work professionally, disagreements after disagreements, group gossip, things that also people who just didn't not like me, or stories that were twisted around that just did not make any sense, that just further tainted my reputation. It was not a beautiful, good situation, to say the least. And with that said, one day, a situation with a colleague where we were trying to organize the s'mores, how much s'mores each child should get, did not go as planned. They were in control. I do not like being controlled 1 ounce ever, not even a little bit. You can see my face. Girl, do not control me. I'm the one in control. That is my motto. And so, but you don't win the crowd over by being like, damn, control. No. You are feminine and sweet, but also you lead and control the situation. And so, unfortunately, I got over in my head and I got into a control ego battle. One of the girls, this is how you do it. And I was like, no, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. And then she just wasn't able to control me, uncomfortable with me, and spun the story that I was overstressed, overworked, and taking it on the kids and not a good worker. There was some truth to that, but she simply was not able to work with me, but rather than working with me, she told all the girls in camp that I was unworkable, unsolvable, stressful, etc. And then all the girls who did not like me started corralling around and gossiping about me, then told the boss, and the boss sided with the girls because that's what the boss does. Then the boss, the manager, and the other main boss all played some political games, said that I'm keeping my job, cooled me off, then fired me with 1 hour's notice. Wild. I did not show them any vulnerability, but I just politely said, okay, thank you, goodbye. I had to get myself out of there, grabbed my things, was given a drive to Davenport, dropped off into a random town in Iowa. What am I gonna do here? I looked around and I looked at the buses and I thought, you know what, I'm going to look for a bookstore, just a random bookstore. I'm just out in the middle of God knows where, doing God knows what. I looked for the perfect little bookstore in Iowa and I walked in and it was heaven. Like, I just lost my job the other day. I did not get along with anybody. The job was stressful. Everything was not working out. It was just beyond me. I get into this little tiny little itty bookstore and it was beautiful. It was heavenly. It was wonderful. Like, absolutely wonderful. It was like everything that I dreamed of. If a bookstore existed, this was it. It was $1 coffee, what? A piano, a huge library. Everyone was so friendly. It was game night and I was chilling like a villain in the back of the couch. There was a fireplace. It was amazing. And I just thought, it's 95 Fahrenheit. It's humid. It's warm. It's lovely. Everything just feels so good. I feel nature. I feel like luscious. I think I can make this town work. Mind you, I did not know what I was going to do in Davenport. I didn't have a flight booked to California at this point, but I just decided to make it work. I'm now just stuck in this random ass town that I don't know anything and I don't know anyone, but I thought, let me see in a couple days what I think, what I'm gonna do, and how I'm gonna handle this situation. So day after day, I went back to the bookstore every day, working on my writing and music projects. I started meeting directors, film writers, just really interesting people from Davenport. And then one day I heard this theater and actor talk about improv. And I said, oh, I love improv. Are you guys talking about improv? They're like, yes, we are. It's like, can I listen? They're like, yeah, listen in. So we started talking more and more. And then we connected on stories and like fun and theater and just being like theater geeks. I connected with Derry and Andrew, and they are like Davenport stars. It was amazing to connect. Then a couple days after that, I got an email from Derry saying they're needing extras for their thriller film project. And I was like, yes, I would love to join. So I said yes, I joined the film project and I was extra. Now it's like 1 week into Davenport, I'm finding my film crew, my writers, my like nerdy geek friends. I'm finding theaters and gigs and all these cool like events happening. And now I'm in a random house in the middle of Davenport, Iowa on an extra movie set. As an extra, on a thriller sci-fi zombie movie set. What? Like, this is life. And I just met so many wonderful, lovely, wonderful, amazing people. I was so happy. I couldn't be happier. Like, I was like, this is what I love to do more than anything, is movies, is theater, is acting. So it was amazing. And then I was just like, I really, 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 really am just putting myself out there with music and theater and acting and art. Like, I'm not giving up on this. I'm not giving up on my dreams. Like, this is just it. This is like, you're starting this year. And I just realized like how far I've come. From not believing in myself, not thinking movie, music, and acting is possible, to taking small gigs, to taking house cleaning gigs in LA, to taking random acting jobs to be paid $100 for an improv acting film, for being paid money for busking, for taking a chance on volunteer work, and taking an opportunity with acting. And getting roles and extra work. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I am really happy with what I've done so far and really excited I'm very proud of myself. Let's start there. And I'm interested in where things are going to go. I love you.